Welcome to the broadcast podcast.
People say that I am the best boss. They say, Michael, we've never worked in a place like this before. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I've been gifted a office mug that says "World's Best Boss." I'm drinking my chai out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly not what you are. It's the opposite.
It's tonight's flex.
It's not flex. I mean, to be fair, whoever gifted it to you, it was like original NBC merch. Want to flip the mug? Yeah. See?
Only real stuff here. Come on.
Yeah, it's original NBC merch. So props to the guy who gifted it to you or girl. We don't know.
07. That's all you gotta say.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. How have you
From
been?
the hiatus.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. What happened?
I think we were just resting up on the Ali Abdaal episode.
Which was unanimously our best episode yet.
Our best episode.
Continues to climb the charts.
Definitely. I mean, I think I put a story up a few days ago where we hit 2K views.
Yeah.
And it became our most viewed video, surpassing the Irfan Junaija video.
Yeah. Shout out to IJ.
Shout out to IJ. And then I think we just went past 4K like today.
Yeah. So today we're at 4,200. And when we become the next Joe Rogan, people are going to watch this video and be like, how innocent were they?
Yeah.
Right? 4,000 and they're like beaming.
Mhm.
And now they're at like millions, hopefully, inshallah. Fingers crossed. So I thought that for this, because we're expanding and like, you know, the universe of the podcast, we had guests. So we had Mohsin and Hassan doing the
Snyder Cut.
the Snyder Cut recap, which in all fairness, the audio sucks. So we put it on unlisted. But we thought we'd start with new segments. And one of the first segments that we agreed upon that we would start is called a What Happened segment, where we talk about what happened in the past week in our lives and we share it with the people that are listening and with each other. Maybe we haven't seen each other in a while because one of us is a working man,
Yeah.
9 to 5.
8 to 6.
8 to 6.
Get paid for 9 to 5.
Yes. And, other things happened. Ali Abdaal video happened. We could do a few guest recaps. We had some great guests that have already been on the show the episodes that are out, and then some guests that are coming up in the next few weeks. I thought it would be a good time to talk about that. And then I know you want to share a really important story that happened
It's
to you.
not what I want to share. It's what the people want to hear.
It's what do the people want to hear?
People want to hear the Bobbywood story, which it'll be coming up soon.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Bobbywood. We'll talk about what happened, but let's get into it. Let's get into what happened.
Okay, firstly, let's kind of recap on the whole Ali Abdaal thing, because I think it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Q&A episode dropped like in mid-February, and then the first week of March, we shot the Ali Abdaal episode.
Yes.
So I don't think we got a chance to really soak it in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I was listening to or following Ali's channel for, a good year before that.
Yeah, he saved my pandemic, bro. Like,
did,
honestly.
yeah.
Like, without him, the pandemic is just...
And when I discovered his content, I discovered it through you. And then also when Osama Baig was here, he spoke very, very highly of Ali as well.
Yeah.
So I had no choice but to check out his channel.
Yeah.
And when I saw the quality, crisp videos, and Ali is someone that we can both relate to, right? He's a Karachi man. He's an immigrant to the UK. We're immigrants to Canada. So I also had that relatability factor.
Yeah, it was, and the thing is, sometimes they say never meet your heroes. And like, obviously, at least someone we look up to in this YouTube game, podcasting game and whatnot. I mean, he literally has a podcast with his brother, and we literally are brothers who have a podcast together. And it was just very nice to see him. Nice to see that he's everything we thought he was. He was funny. He was humble. He was awkward.
And everything that we didn't think, we were hoping that he was not.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So
and
he
that's a
wasn't,
good thing. So shout outs to Ali Abdaal, man. Like, he was a sport about it. We made a really cringy trailer for the pod as well.
Yeah.
And he was nice enough to share it on Instagram. So Ali Abdaal, 8 out of 10.
Is he the first millionaire that we've spoken to?
First millionaire that we've spoken to, definitely. I mean, we know millionaires in like rupees, but I don't know if that counts. But definitely the first millionaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can say that. We can brand it as that. But the video is doing great. So and I love it. People really enjoy it. And we've definitely gotten more people in our audience now because of him. So shout out to Ali Abdaal, bro. The other people that we had, Daim Khalid. Great guest, great
Great
person,
guest.
great human being.
Yeah, I don't want to ever mistake myself by saying he's a YouTuber. He's a filmmaker
Yeah, with a capital F.
with a capital F,
Yeah.
and also with Daim as well. I think we had so much in common that we talked about.
Yeah.
He moved to Canada when he was 10, and I moved here when I was 14. You were 16.
Yeah.
So we had that kind of connection, and I think it's you can only speak to somebody and relate to somebody who's actually been through
Yeah.
that similar journey of kind of leaving your home and then
Yep.
coming here and then trying to adjust and adapt to the culture and the lifestyle here. So
He was just again, with him, it was the same thing as I was with Ali. Like, we just were so humbled to see them be the people that we wanted them to be and
Yeah.
not like show offy and whatnot. And yeah, shout out to Daim, man. He's just a great soul. We reached out a few times after that, and he truly appreciated being on the pod, and we truly appreciated having him on the pod.
yeah,
But
terrific conversation.
great conversation. One of the best that we've had. So yeah, that was the guest recap. What else has been happening with you?
I'm employed.
Employed, an employed man. Should we name the? No, we shouldn't name the company.
No, probably not.
Probably
no,
not.
but yeah, I'm employed.
That's a
It was it was a dark journey.
okay.
It's funny because yesterday I was invited to by one of my professors
Yeah.
to speak in her 4th year business negotiations class. I kind of reached out to her, telling her how much the content that I've learned, surprisingly, in her course, I've applied in real life
Yeah.
when I was negotiating my contract or whatever that I've been negotiating. And she told me to come to her lecture and just speak to the students. And that's what I did. Yesterday I was in that class, sharing my experiences, which was really weird because I think at one point in 2nd year I was ready to just switch out of U of T and go to like a Ryerson
I
or
remember that.
UOIT. So I had some really great friends and a support system who told me to just keep pushing through.
I wasn't one of them.
You weren't one of them.
I was like, bro, come to UIT. What are you gonna do at UFT for, bro? It's the same degrry.
Yeah,
And
so,
I'm glad
I mean,
you didn't listen to me.
I pushed through when I got out of it, and so for me to go back and speak to those students, it was weird because I was sitting in their position like just a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
So and
What did you tell them?
they had a lot of deep questions. I told them to just not.
Did they know that you have a podcast? Did you plug the podcast?
No, I didn't plug the podcast. I should have. I didn't have much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had really interesting questions. Like they asked me about how did you deal with the period that you were looking for a job but you weren't able to find one, and that was a good like 6-month period.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to be like motivating and trying to
you
give
found,
them hope.
because you found work during the pandemic as well. So
During the
that's
pandemic,
it's double
unemployment
hard.
is at its peak. People who have jobs, stable jobs, they're losing their jobs.
Yeah.
People are taking pay cuts just to have a job.
Yeah.
So I think I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity that I've gotten. But yeah, I was just trying to like instill some hope in them. Like I was just telling them that
How do you instill hope in them?
every single no that you get brings you closer to a yes. So every rejection kind of
Wow. We should have that on the wall here.
we should have that here. One more thing, you can have 100 rejections, but all you need is one acceptance. And when you get that acceptance, none of those rejections matter. None of those poor interviews or interviews where you haven't heard back, that doesn't matter anymore.
Wow. You listened to a
So-
lot of like David Goggins, haven't you?
No, you just need to like, and that was something that I didn't understand. I was just so bummed out after every single interview that didn't go my way,
Yeah.
where I had to tell myself in cricketing terms, hey, it's a test match. You got to show up every single day
Yeah.
on your laptop and focus and just keep doing your thing. You've got to put faith in the system.
Do you have faith in the system?
I have faith. The system is my system where I'm
Oh,
applying
your
jobs,
system. Okay.
where I'm working on myself, where I'm working on my interview skills, my resume, my cover letter. So yeah, it's been a great journey, and finding employment at this time, it's crazy.
Here's a switch side question to that.
Mhm.
How do you enjoy corporate slavery?
It's weird because I actually kind of enjoy what I do.
Okay,
To a
that's
certain
good.
extent.
That is always a benefit, because people who don't enjoy what they do and then they're stuck in that loop tend to get stuck in there forever. And it's like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? This is not an Illuminati sign. I'm just saying Maslow's hierarchy of needs. By the time you reach self-actualization, you realize, okay, the things that I was chasing in the second tier, food, work and stabilization, I was looking for them at the wrong places. And The more that I've talking to people in on Clubhouse and stuff, that's what they realize mostly is that even people who are chasing creative endeavors are like, bro, like now that I've got it, it's not really what I wanted, or I didn't know that I wanted it. I didn't want it this. Like it was very, it's a very confusing thing because you get it and then you're like, oh, I thought this was going to be something very different, and that's what a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 6, as you said,
8 to 6.
8 to 6. Sorry, can do to you, right? Like so, it's good to stay positive and not fall into the trappings of corporate slavery.
Yeah, I try to like wake up every morning and just be grateful because I know people personally who graduated way before me who have been looking for employment.
Yeah, man.
Smarter people than me, more qualified, and they've been struggling. It is extremely tough out there. So while I have this opportunity, I'm looking to just better myself and
Yep.
make the most of the opportunity. And I love the work environment that I work with. There's some really great people, very smart people, and yeah, it's going pretty good.
I'm glad, man. That's good.
Yeah.
I hear you every morning in your meetings, and it pisses me off because we share a wall,
Yeah.
and I'm like, can you stop at 8 a.m.? Can you please stop? And I just want to publicly say that I don't like it at all.
I want to publicly say that I can't stop. So
All right, that was our what happened segment. It was a bit rough, but we'll clean it up later. We'll have more what happened sections. We'll have
we'll
more
probably incorporate like other stuff as well.
other stuff. Yeah, for sure. Like
Can we also talk about in terms of what happened? We went back into lockdown
yeah,
in Ontario.
yeah, that sucks. I mean, it's not really a lockdown. It's just a facade now at this point. Like Pakistan has had a better lockdown than Toronto has.
Smart lockdown.
I mean, you
It
know
just
what I
doesn't
mean?
make any sense. Like these intermittent lockdowns are not doing anything.
Nope.
Clearly, they haven't been doing anything for over a year.
Yeah,
So why are we going back to it? I think we need to like try something different.
bro. Hashtag Doug Ford. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, even with Trudeau, like we don't have any vaccines.
yeah,
So
yeah. Easy. Okay,
I know,
we
I know,
got- we
I
got-
know, I know
we
you've
got
met
people
him. I
voting
know you have a
red.
selfie with him, but that doesn't mean that you have to like blindly just
People
back him
vote
up.
red on this podcast. All right, you can't.
It's funny
talk shit
because
about
you're
Trudeau.
wearing blue.
It's
with
Blue
the-
Jays. It's Blue Jays, bro. You can't do that. I'm dying with the Blue Jays train.
Hashtag make Canada great again.
Okay. And then moving on. I know you're dying to tell your Bobbywood story, so let's hear it. Set it up properly so we know what happened. And I'll to preface what I'll say is that there is a Twitter account called Bobbywood that I think everyone who's listening to this, pause this podcast. If it's audio, if it's video, pause it. Go to Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, make a Twitter and go check this guy out. It's the funniest thing I've seen since probably since Swinery came on Instagram. Bobbywood is just, it's giving me so much energy and so much life. And so I was going through the Bobbywood posts when I realized that Bobbywood, which is basically a parody Bobby Deol account, you've had an encounter with the legend himself. And then you made an even bigger move. So I wanted you to now take forth the story that happened in London in 2019.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, let's just go back even before we went on the trip.
Yeah.
The backstory is important. Before we were going, I was telling you that hey, we're going to London. We are bound to meet somebody famous. I just crash
Yeah.
into them. It's London, right? Stuff like that always happens.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I mean, I was hopeful to the extent where I was walking with my backpack, which had my cricket shirt that I was hoping to get some cricketers signed.
Yeah.
I was maybe hoping to like crash into Ben Stokes or Joe Root at like Pizza Express.
Sure.
I don't know. Okay, but one fine evening, it was we were in London for like 8 days, so probably my 6th day.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, one of my school friends from Karachi, he was studying in London. We haven't talked in years, and he just hits me up. He's like, "Hey, do you want to meet up and catch up on life?" And I was like, "Sure."
I'm in London.
And-
It's convenient.
I know, right? So, and we picked this place where I was just hanging out.
Yeah.
To have a burger and just talk. So I got to the destination before him, and I was just waiting.
The destination of life.
The destination of life.
Okay.
So I was just waiting for him, and as I was just crossing the street to explore the area while I was waiting, I'm crossing the street. I look across the street, and the person who was crossing against me, or towards me,
Arjun Rampal.
is Arjun Rampal. He's got a beer in his hand. He's got a cigarette in the other hand.
Yeah.
And when I look back, there's like the 7-star hotel that he's staying at, and he was
Yeah.
just going there.
It was near Oxford Street, was it?
I don't exactly remember the place,
Okay.
but I forgot the place. But okay, but yeah, he was going to this hotel, and I see him, and I'm just like starstruck. I'm like, but then also he's coming towards me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I didn't say his name. I've been seeing your movie since I was a kid. I'm a huge fan. You know, if it's okay, I'd like to take a picture with you. And he's like, sure.
Did he like talk or just that's all?
He's just like, thank you. And then he's just like, sure, for the picture. And I'm like, okay, sure. I pulled up my phone. I took my selfie. And if you can put the selfie up,
I'll put it
for our YouTube viewers. Took the selfie, and that was that. He left, and instantly I was just so excited. I was like, who am I supposed to share this with?
Yeah, you put
With
it on
you.
the family group chat.
Because
yeah.
I told you this was going to happen.
Yeah.
We're in London. So I sent the picture, and I'm like, I just crashed into Arjun Rampal, just chilling here.
Yeah.
And you kind of broke all my hopes.
No, and then I'll take it from here.
Okay, sure.
So I see the picture, and I see the excitement, and it says, "Oh my God, I just met Arjun Rampal," and I said, "That's so cool. That's not Arjun Rampal. That's Bobby Deol." And that's still one of the most iconic things to happen in London in their entire trip. And we saw two Pakistan matches that'll go down into history. One Babar Azam century. I fell in love in London. I met probably my future wife in London, and that has got to be the number one thing that keeps me up at night.
Complete brain fade moment. You have one of those moments all the time.
And I'm glad you said that you didn't take his name, because that would have been the worst.
Yeah, imagine
You're like, I love your movies, Arjun.
आंखें क्या acting थी भाई? He would probably
Insane.
like thrown his beard over me or something. I don't know.
Absolutely insane.
But yeah, and yo, the amount of hate that I'm getting because I mix Arjun Rampal with Bobby Deol.
Are you really?
Yeah, all the Arjun Rampal fans are like, how can you even draw parallels? They don't even look alike.
Yeah, they don't.
But again, brain fade moment. It happens. It could happen to the best of us.
Yeah,
This happens to be me at the time.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It will go down in history as one of the best things that's ever happened.
So that was my Bobbywood story.
And I remember did I call you? Or I think I just texted you. I was like,
We were texting.
That's the dumbest thing
Yeah.
that you've done.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you met your celebrity though, because that was important to you.
Very important.
I met Janejo in that trip though, and I made him friends with him.
Especially, I mean, with the context, right? Bobby Deol, then now he's kind of picking up. But
Now it's so random. It's the weirdest thing. Why is he doing that? Just because of this Twitter account, bro. This dude, and to the fact that even Bobby Deol shared the guy's videos
yeah,
on his Instagram.
so he's enjoying it too.
He's enjoying it, bro. Like it's all fun. Nobody's getting offended. Everybody's having fun. It's the very few and rare times where Twitter and social media is not toxic, and I live for these moments.
Twitter is probably my favorite social media app.
Really?
Yeah.
Clubhouse has totally eclipsed everything. Like the interactions I've had in Clubhouse.
I mean, Twitter. I'm just on Twitter for the memes.
Yeah.
And I retweet stuff.
Yeah. But you haven't done the whole Clubhouse thing yet properly, have you?
I haven't found that attraction to it yet.
You haven't talked to anyone. Have you been in any rooms?
No.
So how are you gonna find traction if you've never been in a
Because
room?
I don't find the rooms interesting enough to actually go in.
Okay, I ping you in so many rooms. You never come into my rooms.
Because you're in those rooms. I talk to you every single day.
Bro, it's not just me. I had IJ in the room. I had Saltafa in the room. I had Hamza Ibrahim in that room, like, and my cousin Hassan in that room. It was the 6 of us, and we were just chilling. That's when you would come into the room and you would see how cool this stuff is.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you gotta give it a proper shot, like, because the relationships that we've made. I got Ali Abdaal because of Clubhouse, bro. Like that's the power of the app. Anyway, speaking of controversial social media toxicity, you moved to Apple. Samsung fanboy to Apple.
I did, and it was so difficult. It
Was
was like sending your
Come
kid to college,
No.
but just not coming back.
Disgusting. That's not how I.
That's
That's not
exactly how
happened
it
to me at all.
was. It was like, wedding off your only daughter.
And yet here you are.
Here I am.
How do you enjoy the Apple life?
my love story and affection with Samsung started in 2016 when I switched from Apple to Samsung. You convinced me,
Yeah.
and
And then I convinced you again, 2021.
I got the S7, and then in 2018, I got the S9 Plus when it came out, the week that it came out. So I was rocking the S9 Plus for like 3 years,
Yeah, it's true.
And for the past year and a half,
And how many times did it update in the last 2 years, bro?
none, zero.
So
So it was just lagging, and there was just a lot of issues with it.
this guy thought that Spotify was bummed out.
Yeah, I was pissed
And
at
then
Spotify.
you were pissed off on Spotify, and then you realized, bro, I haven't updated my phone in 2 years. And then once you switched to Apple, the first thing was like, bro, Spotify works great.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is like the songs actually play when you click on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a difficult choice. I was also sitting on it for a very long time, just
It's the inevitable
marinating the
choice.
idea.
It's the inevitable choice. You're not 19 anymore.
Because it's also not that convenient to switch, right? In terms of all your stuff and your data, your pictures and your videos and your apps and your notes. They just don't see. It's not a seamless transition. Is what I'm trying
Okay,
to say.
so here's the thing. My experience was very different from that. Everything, except for the notes, I think everything else was a seamless transition. Whoa, can't speak. But it took like 2 hours, and everything was on my phone, and I made a whole video on it as it was shifting. So it was great. Like I loved it, and I've loved the experience ever since. The camera quality is insane. It's unbeatable. Speed is so good. All the apps are well optimized. Like we have Clubhouse. And I have no complaints of my move. I moved in November, right? So it's been about 4 months, 5 months, and I think I once or twice was like, man, this is not the best, but 95% of the time I've been like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah. So I mean, just a bit more about my move. The move to iOS thing is the Apple way to move, right? So
Yeah.
for me, it was showing me it was like 10 hours, then it would just like crash halfway through.
Yeah.
So I had to use a few external third-party apps to do the transfer. Thankfully, it worked on like the 10th try, but it happened. I got my photos, my videos.
You got all of them?
All of them.
All the videos, everything?
Yep. They're not in any order, so I had to like kind of go through and just put them in albums to categorize them.
Yeah.
But yes, one of the main reasons why I got it was because of the camera. And
And?
I kid you not, the camera is phenomenal.
Right?
It is insane. It's insane. It really is insane.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the Pro. It's just the regular 12.
You want to hear? This is probably the listeners or the people who are watching on YouTube don't know, but our face cams, our head bust cams,
Yeah.
are both iPhone 12 Pros,
It's
and our
actually
wide camera is my DSLR.
because
That's insane.
yesterday
you couldn't tell the difference.
yesterday I was out with my not the day before actually. I was out with my friends and just exploring Ontario, and I went to this place where we could see the sunset on the beach,
Yeah.
and the pictures that I took there, absolute insanity.
Yeah.
I posted one today, so if you want, you can go on my Instagram.
Instagram is in the bio. Check it out.
Yes, so check it out. It's just like insane pictures. It's the selfies, the portrait mode, the long shots, the videos that I took on 0.5 zoom.
Oh, yeah.
the
wide angle, eh?
the wide angle, and also the image stabilization. It's like I'm taking the videos on a gimbal,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just the camera's hands down. It's unmatched.
Yeah. It's very good.
It's unmatched.
And I think, do you want to talk about the AirPods as well? How are they?
Sure. Yeah. I
got
was
the
also
Pro?
because I was with Samsung. I would also had the Buds Plus, and I was just rocking the whole ecosystem.
You were rocking the Samsung ecosystem.
The Samsung
Not a lot of people say that.
ecosystem. Yeah, it wasn't that bad actually. You guys make it sound like it's like we're poor, but
Okay, bro. I had the Galaxy Buds Plus. I had the Samsung S9 Plus. It used to take me 30 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds at least on average to connect.
that was not my experience. Maybe it was like 5 seconds for me.
It
Maybe.
takes me 0. Does it not take you 0?
Yes. So I mean, while we're talking about it, I want to just say that the Buds Plus, when I used to have them for work for calls, I would have them in like all day. Maybe sometimes podcasts, sometimes for just calls. And my ears would like hurt because
Yeah.
they were just like
Tight. They were airtight.
They're airtight.
Yeah.
So after a while, they used to hurt, and I would like need to take them off and switch ears or just have one in, one out.
Yeah.
But with the AirPods, they're so comfortable. Like it's as if they're not even in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the audio quality is it's miles
Better. Like,
generations ahead of.
and the noise cancellation is pretty useful too sometimes.
It's pretty good. The transparency is decent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, would you recommend? Is what I'm trying to say.
I would, but there's also a few things that I didn't like. Like the whole transition just had put a bitter taste in my mouth when
Yeah.
I was starting to use the phone. And there's a few things that are like I find very tedious.
Like,
You can't close all the recent apps at once.
That's
So
annoying.
you have to like
Yeah,
one
you
by
gotta
one.
go.
Just like
Yeah. you can go 2 by 2, by the way. But that's still
I
not
don't
the
care.
yeah.
I should be able to just
There
close
should be
some
one button. Yeah,
recent apps.
I agree.
I have YouTube Premium, and it doesn't work in the background. The audio does,
So
but the
it
video
doesn't
minimize.
minimize into a smaller video. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah, it doesn't do that.
So, which is also very, very
Unless
annoying.
somebody knows how to fix this, like if there's probably a hack or something.
There is a hack. I'm using that hack,
Are you using
but
the
that's
hack?
also very inconvenient.
Okay.
Like, why do I need to use the hack when I'm paying
Agreed.
for the
I agree with
premium
that.
subscription?
Totally
right?
agree with that.
And yeah, that's like mostly it.
Yeah. Face ID.
Face ID with the mask on, not convenient at all.
Yeah, but without it,
When I'm at Walmart, when I need to unlock my phone, it's pretty inconvenient. And also, nothing is faster than the fingerprint itself. Like my Samsung, it would like take me half a second to.
okay, but you do know that they moved the fingerprint from the Samsung from the back to the front screen.
Yeah, but okay, maybe it takes a second now. It's
Yeah.
still faster than Face ID.
Okay, fair.
So Apple needs to do something about that because.
But do you see yourself getting into the ecosystem now?
You have to. They suck you into it.
Yeah.
They suck you into it. You have no choice but to give in. That's what I tweeted.
I don't think that's true because you do have a choice. You could go back to you could use a Galaxy Plus. You could have Windows laptops. The thing is, they make better headphones. They make better laptops. They make everything a little bit better.
Yeah.
So yes, the ecosystem is very alluring, and they do suck you in the sense that like because you have one thing, you need the other thing to be more compatible and all that. I agree, but the thing is, it is more compatible. It's so easy to use. Like I was a big Samsung fanboy as well, but that was the time when I used to pirate movies, rip audio from YouTube, and like not pay for like anything. But now I have Spotify for audio. I have Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, and Disney Plus. So like, I don't need to rip anything from torrent anymore. All my audio is there. I even have YouTube Premium, so I don't have to get ads. I'm at a point where all of this shiny stuff I don't need. I just need. I use my camera for 4 things, bro. My phone is just a camera. I call, I play video games sometimes, and I record my podcasts on them. That's it.
One more thing I don't like. My alarm for the past 5 years was the song "Oh" by Coldplay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
I
annoying.
also
too.
recently covered.
But I
on the
told
piano.
you a workaround for that.
What?
So you said that you can't choose a
But
song.
why do I need these workarounds when
You need to put the song on your phone,
I have it on Spotify?
but you couldn't do that even on Samsung. You needed to put it on your phone.
So,
And then
but
use
but
that.
here legally, I need to buy the song
League
for $2.
Sure, support Coldplay, bro. Why not? Okay,
I pay
never
for
mind.
Spotify. So there are you are
Give and takes.
there's a trade off.
There's a trade off. Yeah.
If you're like really into the ecosystem of Samsung and you're okay with it, you don't need to switch. If you're not bothered, you don't have to. But if you are looking to switch to Apple, make it long term. Make it to the fact where you wanna like give into the whole ecosystem with the headphones, with the laptop, with the MacBooks,
Yeah.
and the watches. So it'll be just better integrated.
Yeah, they're better integrated for sure.
Yeah.
The last thing I have here is the future of the podcast and rebranding because that's something we've been thinking about for a while.
Yeah. No, this will be re-rebranding. because
Re-rebranding,
We've
yeah.
already rebranded
To this name.
to this name.
So what we're talking about is basically we wanted to change the name of the podcast, maybe the style of it. The podcast is gonna remain the same. It's just gonna be a different name.
Yeah.
I-
Have you concretely decided on that?
We've decided that we want to do it. We just don't know what we're gonna do. So I was thinking we could just, for funsies, put up a contest on our YouTube / Instagram, and whoever's name we pick, we can pay them $50 or something,
Maybe.
or maybe
What
not.
about the Karan Arjun show?
The what?
The Karan Arjun show.
All right. See, this is why we
'Cause
need a
wh-
new
when
host.
when you think of Karan Arjun, you think of brothers.
All right,
Noor
no, that's not
brothers.
happening. Why don't we just name it if we're gonna name them, if we're gonna name our podcast names, why don't we just name it from us on us?
But Karan Arjun is a brand, man.
Okay, stop yourself.
Generations.
Anyway, so that's gonna be coming up soon, and so if you guys have any ideas, any names that you guys want to suggest, put it in the comments.
Or if you
DM
guys
us.
think that we don't need to rebrand.
Okay,
also let
this
us
is
know.
why I think we need to rebrand
Why?
or change our name. Rebranding is probably a very technical term. What we're basically saying is change our name, change the logo, stuff like that. Title song, make it shorter. Things that I've had in my head for a while. It's because when you Google us, Google thinks you've made a typo.
It's a good
If you
thing.
do that
it's
on
a good
YouTube
thing
as
you're not
well.
a writer.
Hey,
Don't you have Grammarly?
I do have Grammarly, and it tells me whenever I make my agendas for broadcast podcast, it's like, did you mean the real broadcast with an A? I'm like, no, bud, I didn't. I meant my podcast. So I mean,
It's also it's people. I don't think people get it.
people don't
it's-
get it. I had Yasser Bhai on, Yasser Puri, the great Yasser Puri from Pakistan. I had him on the podcast, and he told me 4 times during the podcast, bro, you gotta change your name. You guys are gonna blow up soon, and you're gonna be at like 10,000, 15,000 subscribers, and then you're gonna want to change your name, and it's gonna be a lot harder. I'm like, interesting. So that's why we're at like 310 right now, and it's easier for us to change our name now than it would be like when we get like John Mayer and if Hassan Minhaj on.
It's coming.
Riz Ahmed is also coming, by the way. Nice
I have to watch 4 Lines halfway through.
Really? Is it good?
Yeah, it's like satirical, so kind of like The Office.
Nice. I want to watch Sound of Meadow. That's on Amazon Prime. I'm going to check it out soon
Mhm.
before the Oscars. Bro, he's the first Pakistani, first actor to get nominated for an Oscar. If he doesn't come on this podcast, there's no other podcast he should be on. We're going to, because I have the amount of heartbreak I've gotten from Hassan Minhaj. I DM this guy every day. I've emailed this guy every day. I even tried to start a movement on Twitter. Nothing. This guy ghosted us worse than my ex did. Like, this is is this, and I'll tell you why this is. This is because we're Pakistani and he's
No, it's
Indian.
also because he's giving us mixed signals.
Why is this guy stalking our
It's like
stories?
he's watching our stories. We mentioned him. He's watching all of them.
All of them.
But he's just not responding. So it's like
He's playing hard to get.
exactly like, dude, it's either it's a yes or it's a no.
So this is what I'm planning to do. I want to get Riz on the show. Big fan of Riz. His music, his poetry, his acting. He's buds with Gyllenhaal. Like, a lot of reasons to have the guy on the pod. Right?
Nightcrawler.
We get Riz on the. We complain to Riz that his bud Hassan Minhaj has been ghosting us. He then in turn talks to Hassan, is like, bro, why aren't you going on my bro's podcast? Then we get him on the podcast. But by then, we've already rebranded. And our name is not the Broadcast Podcast. Something else. That's like the end of the year goal.
Right.
Manifestation, law of attraction.
Sure.
Hit me.
Okay.
Right? It's happening.
It's happening.
All right, we'll end it on that note. I think this is a good positive note to end it on.
Yeah.
I'll just say the one last thing. We're inching towards our 50th podcast. We have a very special guest
Very special.
for our 50th podcast. Someone very dear to us.
Extremely.
Extremely near to us and dear to us. I would even go as far to say if this person does not exist, we're not here.
100%.
Right? So, yeah, 50th podcast coming soon. Wait for it. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be probably our best. It's gonna be one to savor.
It's going to be one to savor. It's going to be one we're going to cherish for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my closing thoughts. Anything you want to say before we head out?
No. Good to be back here. Good to be back here sitting with you doing this pod.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll be back again next week, hopefully.
Yep, with more what happened, with
more what
more
happened.
probably we're probably gonna do an ODI series analysis as well. People have been asking for that,
Yeah.
so we'll probably, like, you know how Joe Rogan has like his MMA pods and then he has his like normal pods that he does with people as well. We'll probably do like a cricket section now
Sure.
dedicated to Pakistan cricket.
Yeah.
And then
We
everything
can do
cricket.
like a post PSL.
Sure, yeah,
And
no IPL,
South Africa.
'cause screw you guys, India.
No.
But but yeah, we're definitely gonna check it out.
Sounds good.
All right, see you on the next pod, bro.
Take care.
Because
Well.
I'm just saying, the next 2 pods that are coming out are with Zarak, Yusuf Zay, and Yasser Puri, and you're not on both of them. So maybe not see you on the next one, but see you on the next
Is this
next
your
one.
real plan of rebranding? You wanna get me out of the picture?
Yeah, it's just gonna be the Bro Cast podcast.
Let's end it on that note. I don't know if I want to continue anymore.
All right. Take care, everybody. Follow us, subscribe, check us out on the YouTubes, the Spotifys, the Apple Musics, everywhere. Leave a comment if you stay till the end, and leave a comment with a with an emoji so we know that you stay till the end.
Yes.
And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.